Buongiorno! Welcome to my latest episode of Aha Moments. And the buongiorno is because I just came back from the most incredible trip to Sicily and the Amalfi Coast. And this is a once in a lifetime trip, and especially after being involved with COVID. For most of the people that were on the tour with me, and I was on a small tour, it was their first time away from home too. So we all were carefully packing our bags because we could only take one suitcase and a small carry-on. So I carefully packed everything. But what I didn't realize until later in this trip is one of the things that I packed in there was all my limiting beliefs about who I am, about how I operate, about what things I like to eat, what people I like, what kind of activities do I like. Because when you are on a tour, it's almost like a Disney ride. You kind of get into that little wagon, you're strapped in, and off you go. So I encountered a bunch of limiting beliefs. And I think if you recall past vacations you've had, when you come back, you say, well, I didn't ever imagine that I would find this so exciting. That's because you came up against a limiting belief and you broke through. Now, a couple of mine was on how much physical activity I was going to do. And I reluctantly had to buy a pair of hiking sticks. So let me tell you, I bought the cheapest ones because I thought I'll never use these again. And in fact, I don't even want to use them the first time. But what I found was that for myself, I'll give you an example of a big limiting belief of mine, was that I was very concerned about would I be able to physically keep up with the walking and the pacing and having your suitcase out at a certain time and being on the bus at a certain time. And actually, I did it very well. And so there is a limiting belief that I came up against. And I'll give you a little backstory because I know where this came from. When I was in school, especially in high school, I was on the smaller side. I was not physically active. I didn't think I'd ever be able to be a great jock. So I did little to nothing. So when it came to choosing up teams, there would be the two really good jocks, and they would pick a team. Invariably, myself and another girl who had severe physical disabilities, we would be the last two picked to be on the team. And so my limiting belief was, yeah, I don't care, I'm not good at it, doesn't matter. But the truth of it is, enjoying your body and seeing how well it can function when you put a little stress on it, and going up and down hundreds of steps without handrails and going on cobblestones where there's big holes, does make you aware of your physical limitations and also what you've been able to accomplish. So that's one of my limiting beliefs that I think I've had a better understanding of from my past history, which I just shared with you, and that I was very pleased with the level of physical energy and confidence that I had in going through this whole trip. So I want to say to you, think about what your limitations are. We're spending a lot of time on my weekly insights on talking about what your inner critic says to you. So that's part of it. What are these limiting beliefs your inner critic is saying to you? And you find that out when you're doing things that are outside of your norm. And you also find that out in your everyday life when you're doing things that are very repetitive and very automatic. And then you start to listen to what you say to yourself. So pay pick something that you say to yourself and challenge it. And until we meet again, please, every morning, look into your mirror and smile at yourself and say, I am my own best friend, for I came into this world to be myself. For that I came. And until we meet again, thank you and all my best.